In this video, I'm aiming to help you fix two key limitations of the Sony ZV-1, stabilization and field of view on the cheap. Salut YouTube, I'm Christophe Langlois and this is my 19th video on the Sony ZV-1. In all those videos, I've got two key goals. One is to help you make an informed purchase decision, and it's also to help you make the most of your brand new Sony ZV-1. And I invite you to watch my full review of the Sony ZV-1 after having used it extensively for over a month. And when you do so, please, I invite you to check the description because there are a few pros and me that I forgot to mention in my original video, so everything will be down there. So in this video, I'm going to use just a few very inexpensive accessories to see how we can together find the perfect way, again, to solve those limitations from the Sony ZV-1. And coupled with those inexpensive accessories, I'm going to leverage Sony's free-to-use software called Sony Catalyst Browse software. I'm going to use it on Mac. And basically the idea is that Sony gives you the ability to leverage the gyroscope's data, which is included in all the footage from the Sony ZV-1. And, by the way, the built-in gyroscope is potentially a game changer for Sony. So I'm going to do basically 3 tests using my favorite tripod for the Sony ZV-1. And those tests will be: 1, handling the tripod as you would with the mini tripod. Second, same thing, but using the wide-angle lens that I recommended in quite a few other videos. And third is to fully leverage that specific tripod and extend it, and to see again which type of quality we can get, coupled with the post-production stabilization from Sony's Catalyst Browse app. You will find all the links to those accessories in the description below, so please, that would help us a lot if you could consider subscribing, liking the video, and also possibly buy some of those accessories using our affiliate links. That would help us carry on buying more products and sharing some honest and unbiased reviews on YouTube. So thanks in advance, guys. And now, that's my luck. It started raining. So we'll see what we can do and hopefully see you in a few minutes, guys. Bye. Okay, so as it's raining, I might as well talk you through the 3 setups for today. So first of all, I'm using this tripod. So it's a bit bigger than your average mini tripod, but I really believe that it's worth it. You can extend it, so I'll show you in a second, but that's my first setup. I'll be holding the camera like this, again like a mini tripod, and I'll keep it at arm's length or a bit less, somewhere comfortable. Then the second setup, so I'm going to be holding it the same way, again to simulate any mini tripod you might use, but I'm going to use the wide-angle lens that I recommend. So that's going to be setup number 2, and this is going to be setup number 3. So basically, I'm going to be using the tripod like this. I'm going to hold it like that. Again, very easy to hold. There's no pressure on your elbow, so you can hold it for a very long period of time. And you see that the camera is going to be quite far, so you can adjust it here, obviously. So I think that's going to produce some amazing footage, coupled with Sony's Catalyst Browse software. I think we're going to get some great footage for just the price of that tripod, which is under 25 British pounds. Also, by the way, another benefit of this specific tripod, which is very light and portable, is to be able to set it up that way and be able to quickly shoot some talking heads video standing. And I'm like 6 foot tall, so as you can see, it does a very good job. It's very versatile, so I really love that tripod. So assuming that you're not too bothered with the size of the tripod folded, which is not too big but bigger than your average mini tripod, this is the buy for the Sony ZV-1, in my humble opinion, of course. Okay, so it finally stopped raining, so I was able to capture all the video footage I was after, relieved. But before I go back to the studio and we check together the quality of the stabilization using Sony's Catalyst Browser software, a big thank you to MarkusPix, who inspired me actually watching one of his recent videos when he used a lighting tripod, again for vlogging. This is a proper made for vlogging tripod, but same difference, so thank you so much Markus, and I invite all of you to check out his great ingenious channel, and the link will be in the description below. Hey guys, and now I'm back in the studio. The Sony Catalyst Browse app offers you much more than just applying stabilization after recording your footage. But now I'm going to talk you through only the stabilization part. And by the way, I'm not sure what happened to me yesterday. I used to say browser, but of course it's Catalyst Browse. So this is the Sony Catalyst Browse software. So again, it does so many things. Today I'm going to just show you how to stabilize footage coming directly from the Sony ZV-1. So it needs to be, again, this original footage and the video files, because it includes the metadata from the gyroscope, which is included in the Sony ZV-1. So for instance, you couldn't use that software to stabilize like footage from the Sony A7 series or the Sony A6 series, because to date, there's no body, including a built-in gyroscope. But please note that you could still use your stabilization features or third-party plugins from Final Cut Pro 10, for instance, or Premiere, or anything you might use back in your studio. So here, I'm going to select the footage from the Sony ZV-1, so that one. I double-click on it. Again, I will just insist on the stabilization. So I click on Tools, I click on Stabilize Clip. Does its thing. Okay, so by default it tends to crop a lot, yeah, but we can change that. So if I go on the right hand side, I click on Manual, and then you can see by default here it applies a massive crop of 75% basically. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to 75. So anything from a 25% crop, 30% crop, which is a lot, so you need of course to engineer your shoot to make sure you can account for the stabilization. But if you do so, it will yield very good results. So here I'm at 75%, so 25% crop. What you could do as well, you could just select part of this clip to stabilize and export. So on the bottom of the screen, you see the arrows. I can just shift them. And then I stabilize just a small section of the clip. Let's do this. And what I need to do now, so we're almost done. I just click on Share, as you can see, top right. I need to click on Rename Files. Usually I like to use clip name and then a suffix. Here I'm going to put, I think I did what, 75, so 25% crop. So I put 75 here. And then I just need to click on Export on the bottom right. Et voila. So basically now it's going to export the stabilized clip. The challenge here, of course, in terms of the duration of the export is based on two things, at least. One is the length, the duration of the clip you export. And two, it's how powerful your computer is. So I'm going to share on the screen my current MacBook Pro just to give you an idea. But this is, again, highly dependent on your setup. And now, as promised, I'm going to share with you a lot of samples to give you an idea of the impact of the stabilization and the crop in particular with the three different setups. So you'll be a judge of the quality, the stabilization, of course, what is acceptable to you, and the field of view. And now please let me share with you my own thoughts on the three setups. Setup number one, so just handle with a mini tripod. I'd say forget about the Catalyst Browse app, just go with the active stabilization mode in camera. As I personally don't believe that you can apply a smaller crop whilst still having some kind of stable footage at the end. Setup number two, it looks like the wide-angle lens in front of the Sony ZV-1 messes up with the metadata, or at least the software struggles with it. So again, I would forget about Catalyst Browse for that specific setup. And finally, setup number three, which is my favorite by far. First of all, it's very easy to carry, doesn't put any pressure on your arms, and so you can do it for long periods of time. I know it's a bit awkward, right? You've got something in front of you, but seriously, I mean, that's by far, I believe, the best low-tech budget way to have some great footage from the Sony ZV-1, especially for vlogging. And with that setup, should you want to go the Catalyst Browse route, you could easily apply just a 10% crop, because I believe it was so stable to start with that it's totally acceptable and it would yield again some great results. So very good stabilization with a very decent field of view. So what else do you need then to transform the Sony ZV-1 into an amazing vlogging camera? Also, I could have extended the tripod even more to get like a wider field of view and yet being able to apply some very good stabilization using Catalyst Browse, which could be perfect if you're traveling a lot and you're somewhere quite remote with not too many people around and you've got a beautiful scenery. Then you could vlog, have a great field of view and have amazing stabilization. And by the way, if you found the tripod I recommend a bit too big or too long, I've got a second great option which is going to be featured in my upcoming best value accessories for the Sony ZV-1, so please consider subscribing. And now I'd like to share my thoughts about the Catalyst Browse app, especially coupled with the Sony ZV-1. First of all, talking just about stabilization, the UI is pretty clear, it's super simple, and it's very easy again to stabilize the footage which comes directly from your Sony ZV-1. The issue, at least as far as I'm concerned, is that I find the software a bit buggy. At times, I had to kill the app and relaunch it when I wanted to export the stabilized footage. Then there is the issue of processing time. Indeed, if you've got an old machine, it might take quite a long time to export the stabilized footage from the Sony Catalyst Browse app. Then this is a bit of a bummer. The stabilization feature within the Catalyst Browse app is only available with footage shot in any mode on the Sony ZV-1, which has the option of active stabilization. So that means that apparently the gyroscope and the metadata can't be captured in a 1080p 120 frames per second mode and also in any of the high frame rates mode. But on the positive side, you should be able to stabilize any footage shot in 1080p and 60 frames per second. I have to tell you that the software is not magic. If your footage is extremely shaky, you'll have to crop quite a bit to get a decently stabilized footage. For vlogging, personally, if I don't shoot the footage with an extended tripod, which gives me again that distance between me and the camera, I wouldn't bother with the stabilization in the Catalyst Browse app. I would personally just go and use a mode enabling active stabilization in camera. And last but not least, the Sony ZV-1 is not just about vlogging, even though Sony made a mistake marketing it for vloggers, which means that the stabilization from the Catalyst Browse app could be invaluable for 4 key use cases. And next, I will showcase some video samples illustrating each of those 4 use cases. Okay, and now I'll show you a few video samples of 4 use cases for which I believe the Catalyst Browse stabilization leveraging the gyroscope metadata could be excellent. One is vlogging, but vlogging with more distance between you and the camera using, of course, my recommended tripod. Second use case is shooting B-rolls in 4K handheld. Third, it's for those occasions when you can only shoot with one hand. In my case, for instance, is when I have the dog, I'm in the park or outside, and I really need to control her with one hand, and I can only use the other one, which usually produces shaky footage. And 4, which is my favorite use case, is when I need to shoot like an interview, standing, quick and dirty, no tripod, and I just have to try to stabilize it with my hands. That will make a huge difference. Et voilà! So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because that helps us a lot. And of course, as usual, please share your comments, suggestions and questions in the comment section. I will be answering everything, bar the abusive comments, of course. And I will also share any additional observations I might have in the description of this very video. So again, thank you so much for watching and I see you in the next video. Bye guys!